This is the dumbest CPA advice I ever heard. Hi, I'm Paul Morrow. This is Smart Financial. This is not to bash CPAs. I know a lot of great CPAs, but who knows? Maybe the client was lying. The guy came in and said, my CPA told me that if I can get 8.82% tax exempt, that's not as good as me getting 13.9% on my stocks and bonds in my IRA. Okay, folks, this is just not true. Let's do something that one of our interns did for me, and we call this a tax equivalent rate of return. Thanks to Owen, I'm going to give him credit for this. I had a little chart of the tax equivalent rate of return for this particular client, and we were looking at a comparison of the U.S. stock market, which had like a 13.9% average S&P rate of return for the last 10 years. Okay, that's great. 13.9% looks really great. If it's in your IRA, you need to understand that if you're in a substantial tax state, or if your kids are in a substantial tax state, you're going to pay 40% or they're going to pay 40%. There's no getting out of it. Death does not wipe out taxes in your IRA. You can't leave this IRA to your kids without them paying taxes, whether they live in New York or California or New Jersey, they're going to pay. So what does it mean if you're making 13.9%, but 40% of that's going to the government? I'll give you a shocker. It comes out to be 8.22%. We actually ran a calculation for a client who had a big IRA they wanted to convert, $2,550,000. By the way, that was only half of their IRA. They wanted to do a conversion because their daughter's a doctor in New York, their son's a private equity guy in California. They're all in high tax brackets. In fact, this person is probably the lowest tax bracket person in the family. So we did a conversion. Now, what was the net rate of return on that conversion? Well, here's how it works. If this client put in $2.55 million and he got a 23% tax-free deposit incentive. I've talked about these before. This is a backdoor tax-free bonus conversion program. He moved that money in. His 2.550 got a 23% upgrade to $3,000,001 tax-free money. He didn't have to earn it, pay taxes out of it or anything. They shot it in the back door of his IRA. Now all of a sudden, his Roth was $3,136,500. And then he had over time about a 6% annual rate of return because it was like a fixed income guaranteed product. You know, one of these like insured annuity things. And people say, oh, it's only 6%. But what is the real rate? And this is what the calculator says. If you get 23% upfront and then you get 6% a year for 10 years, that's the term of most of these, right? So that's 60% and 23%. It looks like it's 8.3. You know what it comes out to be? Exactly 8.22 compounded annual rate of return, tax exempt. Now, if you can find a tax exempt bond that's better than 8.22%, call me. By the way, you can't buy tax exempt bonds inside your IRA and inside your Roth. It's illegal. So when we're talking about the tax equivalent rate of return, don't think like a dumb CPA. Think like a person who's got a real calculator. Take your calculator and put it down in front of it. You tell me if you're saving up in your IRA and you're saving up for an eventual tax bill in the future, and you've got $1 million today that's going to become $3 million, you're just saving up to pay more taxes. So let's be realistic. Look at converting your seed and not the tree that's going to come out of your retirement fund at the end of your life. Convert the smaller amount, not the larger amount. And remember, the net rate of return, the net after-tax rate of return of 8.22 beats 3.91 in the market every single time. Don't make dumb tax equivalent mistakes. Subscribe to the channel, stay in tune for our next video, and I'll see you again next time on Smart Financial.